Hey, welcome back to Nights and Weekends with me, your host, Marcus. On Nights and Weekends, the one-man band on this side of the internet from the studio in your local Chinese restaurant. Okay, back again. Here we go. Today, as we can see from the thumbnail, we're talking about inflation. Okay, and why the days of my 30s, whatever, 30s or 20s, when you could get a ton of cheap money, those days are going to be not coming back anytime soon. So we're going to go on ahead and hop right on into this today. Inflation isn't going anywhere anytime soon. As we can see here, the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, increased 3.5% year over year last month, which was above the Dow Jones estimate that called for 3.4. Now, I was like, what is this? Like, I know what the CPI is, but we're going to look at something here. It is is based on 80,000 price quotes collected monthly from some 23,000 retail and service establishments, as well as 50,000 rental housing units. And something I never knew of, something called the PCE, which is durable goods. So here we go. The PCE data includes the following: durable goods such as motor vehicles, parts, furnishings, durable household equipment like refrigerators, non-durable goods, food, beverages purchased from off-prem.
This motherfucker, do you speak?
There we go. Ed and Marcus. Yeah, I stutter a lot. Sorry. Purchase for off-premises consumption, clothing and footwear, gasoline and other energy goods, and other non-durable goods, services such as housing and utility, healthcare, transportation services, recreational services, food services, and accommodations. Okay. This I had never heard about until recently. It's something called super core inflation. Okay. So we're just going to give it a quick read. Okay. Along with the overall inflation measures, economists also look at the core CPI, which excludes volatile food and energy prices, to find the true trend. The supercore gauge, which also excludes shelter and rent costs from its services reading, taking it even a step further. That accelerated to 4.8% year over year. And I also see a thing here. Let's put it this. If we annualize the last 3 months, it's running at 8%. Okay. So we have all these things that are running hot. And the difference between today and 40 plus years ago, when we also had high inflation, is our Federal Reserve has pretty much, well, that and our government and the people who we vote for and the stuff that we believe government should do for us has kind of backed us into a corner. And this is why I think inflation is going to be around for a while. So if we look back to 1980, the Federal Reserve pushed rates up to a high of 19.4%. Okay. And if you look at what it is now, we're screaming bloody murder, and it's at 5.33%. The reason why the feds cannot raise rates up to this amount, up to 20, almost 20% to break this inflation, is that we're in a much different economic, at least our government is, when it comes to the debt. We're in a completely different situation. So as we can see here, back in 1980, we had a debt to GDP of 31.81%. Today, it's 120. So you can afford a very high amount of interest on a very low amount of debt. Like you can have a example, you can have a Best Buy card. If you only owe $500, who cares if the rate's 25? Because you can go and pay it off. But when you owe $34 trillion, and that's 120% of your gross domestic product as a country, it's kind of hard to jack the rates up to 20%. So this is going to be a long, drawn out process. And I wanted to, and this is going to be a pretty quick video too. There we go. So I wanted to also bring this up. The average maturity length on the government's debt is 73 months. And think about this. We're paying now $1 trillion a year in 2023 just in interest on the debt. Okay. And that's debt from 73 months ago when interest rates were down here. So 6 years, 1.69, under 2% interest rates. What is going to happen when those things reset to 5? So, inflation is going to be here for a while. Okay. Ed and Marcus, wherever you are out in the multiverse, can you please put in Lyn Alden explaining how interest rates are going to go for the next 10 plus years? See, Ed and Marcus again. Lyn is not going to explain interest rates for the next 10 years. She or she is going to explain inflation rates for the next 10 plus years. All right, back to the show. I like Lyn. I still don't know if this person is a man or a woman. Who knows? It's a mystery, but that is irrelevant. He or she is really good at he or her or his job. Okay. So Ed and Marcus, go ahead and put that on in.
Feds, it's going to be sticky. It's going to be basically inflation's not going to go down to the Fed's target as quickly as they'd want it to. And that inflation, I think, is going to hover 3% or higher, most likely. Fed's main tools are around modulating the speed of things like bank loans and credit issuance. If they want to try to slow down inflation, they try to raise rates or do quantitative tightening to try to slow down that private sector activity until they get, either a recession or a near recession. It's mainly a fiscal-driven large deficit phenomenon. That's where the inflation's coming from.
Our government has kind of pushed us on into a roach motel, and there is if we pull this off, this would be like if LeBron went and won the championship with the Cavs the year after Kevin Durant went to the Warriors. You pulled that rabbit out the hat once. I don't see how we pull that rabbit out the hat again. I just don't. So I end up seeing I end up seeing inflation being around 2.5%, 3%, 4% going forward. It's not going to be under 2%. And those days of having inflation at 1.3%, those days are done. So inflation isn't going anywhere. Buckle up. Things are going to keep getting more and more expensive at a more rapid rate than what we're accustomed to. And hey, that's it. See, nice, short, direct, to the point. All right. I'll see y'all in a week. Come back, please. All right. Bye.